Okay.
There we go. We're going to record. I'm going to say a prayer
Okay.
and we're going to allow the world to fall away. Placing our hands on our heart, taking that breath of love and gratitude. Allowing everything that came before this moment to fall away. Setting aside anything that is ours to do afterward to be set aside, knowing that we will easily and effortlessly be able to pick it up again afterwards if it is ours to do. So grateful and thankful to be the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful and thankful for our willingness to remember the truth of our being, which is perfect love, perfect peace, perfect wholeness, perfect joy. Grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers that help us to remain in the truth of our being and that guide us back to it whenever we fall out of it. We ask that they join us now, blessing us, all who are here, all who may listen later, guiding us, inspiring our conversation today, allowing us to remain open-hearted, open-minded, allowing us to be great receivers of the all good. We are claiming it right here and right now. And we are sharing the benefits of all that we receive and all that we are with Mother Earth and all her beings because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So we are still in chapter 7, the extension of the kingdom, in section 7, the ego's use of projection. And I'm going to start us off with paragraph 6, which is exactly what Carol and I were talking about at the beginning, where he says, do not be afraid of the ego. It does depend upon your mind. And as you made it by believing in it, so you can dispel it by withdrawing belief from it. And this one I highlighted twice. Do not project the responsibility for your belief in it onto anyone else, or you will preserve the belief. When you are willing to accept sole responsibility for the ego's existence yourself, you will have laid aside all anger, all attack, because they come from the attempt to project the responsibility for your own errors. But having accepted the errors as yours, do not keep them. Give them over quickly to the Holy Spirit to be undone completely, so that all their effects will vanish from your mind and from the sonship as a whole. He will teach you to perceive beyond belief, because truth is beyond belief and his perception is true. And I am going to read that double highlighted sentence again. Do not project the responsibility for your belief in it onto anyone else, or you will preserve the belief. Because in dealing with the challenges that have arisen since my husband's passing, there are Root, my cat. There are, it has come to light that he stopped opening the medical bills. And so they were not getting paid. And the use of credit cards was rampant over the last year. And so it's looking like, and also he retired in 2022. So it's looking like we have between $60,000 and $100,000 in medical debt. on top of the home equity line of credit that we have used to replace the roof in our house and a few other home improvement things that had to happen, and the credit card debt. And so my ego wants to, and there's no evidence of life insurance at the moment. So just putting that out there too. But my ego wants to like be pissed off because he paid into his life insurance policy the whole time he was working for the company that he worked for 36 years. And wants to blame our trip to Oregon, which like started this whole chain of disgusting events, wants to blame COVID for him getting sick and ending up to have to go back into dialysis, wants to blame the dialysis center for not treating him well, and wants to blame the medical system for, being a sick system instead of a wellness system, wants to blame the banking system that doesn't seem to want to work with me to help lower any of like the interest rates on anything so that I can actually be making a dent in the debt that we owe beyond the medical debt. And he even wants to blame my husband. But honestly, it comes back to greed. And so greed is what I am working with within myself. Where have I been greedy, or where have I promoted lack mentality or victim of the world mentality that, would pit us against them? That's my work to do, because I have no control over all of this other crap. And honestly, I know beyond a shadow of the doubt that there is no way that he would have died before or after his time was supposed to happen. And that all of this that is happening, as infuriating as it sometimes is, as scary as it sometimes is, it is happening for my good. And the one thing that I can say as far as good that has come of it is that I can feel, and therapists might say this is dissociation, but I can feel myself like distancing from the world. Because when not in a way like I want to take my life or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like, and I'm being very upfront with everybody that asks. And when they hear what is happening, they're like, but I remind them, like I've been saying since November, Rudy's dialysis alone was $30,000 a week. And yeah, insurance paid for a good portion of it, but $30,000 a week, no matter what, our responsibility for our portion of it, whatever that was, and I don't know, because he was the one that was in charge of all of the, paying for our insurance and paying for the medical bills as it came in. And I had no clue that he had fallen off of that wagon of that was his only responsibility as far as our bills. But I'm very upfront with people because it's the reality of the world that I appear to be living in. And what I want them to realize is that even though that seems so fucked up, that I'm having to deal with that now while I'm only less than 3 weeks out from his passing, that I can still remain mostly at peace. And I can still remain mostly in a space where I'm doing my best to take good care of myself, to make sure I'm getting decent sleep, I'm eating well, I'm doing my yoga and my somatic dance movement, I'm playing music a few times a week, because I know I have been in states of depression. And so I know where the ego can take me if I allow it. And I'm just like, I feel like Gandalf, Lord of the Rings, with my staff going, none shall pass. I am so strong in that conviction that no matter what the ego or the world, AKA ego, seems to throw at me, I am not allowing it to deter me from my peace and deter me from my purpose in this life, which I know is to be a beacon of light and truth and help, being truly helpful. So that's why I'm being so real with it. And that's why I'm like, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. It's just the way it is. So anyway, that was a bit on the heavy side for the beginning, but that's where I'm starting us with. Go ahead, Carla.
I just feel guided to read something to you because I had my own what I call Job moment where things seemed so out of my control to do anything really. And so I was told that for like 2 seconds, I don't know, it was a dream, but I was sleeping and woke up, but I knew I was told that you will be fine. You will be fine. And then ego comes in like 100,000 times a day and tries to tell me otherwise. And it's really hard to hold on to that 2-second Job moment whenever it seems like 20 hours a day that I'm awake till whatever it is, 15. It's so I'm gonna read it. I'm experiencing my own Job moment. When it feels terrible and it appears impossible, when it seems like everything valuable has been taken away and you feel hopeless and so full of fear that which seems so real to you, when there seems no lifeline left to grasp. In truth, you are being blessed with your own Job moment to let go and give it to God to do the heavy lifting. Job lost everything and still had faith, trusted God life and life waveringly, and never lost faith in God, because God never has lost faith in you, in me. The only thing that can appear to block God's love is disbelief. So believe. Have faith when appearances try to show otherwise. When the doubting mind tries to use appearances as proof, hold on to your faith. Believe in God. Believe in love. Trust. Take ownership of the peace of God. Is not just God's, it's yours too. It is yours. Live it. Be it. So that's my response to you. It's not just me, everybody's, I mean, I think that be kind because everyone you know is fighting a hard battle or something. We don't know. We don't understand. But, people do strangest things because they're in the middle of that. I mean, all these people that are doing this stuff, they're way in the middle of their own moment. And so what I wanted to speak about is this, well, two things. See, I actually highlighted that paragraph 6, but I'm just going to read one part of a line in paragraph 5, line 7. The ego, therefore, is a confusion in identification. Not even go on. We feel, see the judgment, whatever it is. We see it and we think we are the judge. No, we only guidance from whatever it is, guidance from God, Holy Spirit, ego, false self, whatever. It can only be offered to you. You, in the way Master says, the power of choice is the one power that can never be taken away from you. Free will. And so even if you succumb, I mean, it's very challenging. It's okay. It's all helpful somehow. We don't know. I mean, look, the salvation, I don't know how long it's been, a million years or something. It's not a lifetime or a decade or a moment or a single experience. I know this, God is the master weaver. God weaves all our choices, all these experiences, all this, weaves it together to offer us good. And when you're lost in the fear and the doubt, what are you lost in? You're lost in the illusion. You're lost. So stay focused on love, on God, on self, because if you believe in the fear, you're damaging yourself because you're holding on to that negative energy that's supposed to, we are that through which life passes. Let it pass. You holding on to it and believing it holds it in your body. Let it go. It's going to come. There's many people here. Well, there's plenty of people believe it, and so just let it go. Let it flow. Life just flows. And so I want to say one thing. I was reading the beginning where the Course says, without projection, there can be no anger, but it also true that without extension, there can be no love. It's the beginning of the first verse. And I thought, oh, what is extension? What is projection? So I looked it up. Sometimes it doesn't feel right, but often it does. And it says here, projection, extension is a continuation. So that's a continuation of love, God, trust, whatever. So, and projection is a forecast or estimation of future events based on current ones. So what it is, it's thinking. That the thinking is bad because thinking gets us home when we're in the car and we're thinking about, something really is troubling us. And we're like, 5 miles later, we're like pulling into the driveway or whatever. And we're like, how did I get here? And we think it's Holy Spirit, God is here. No, it is not the Holy Spirit. Oh, it was ego. It was the correct use of ego. we didn't worry about it. It just happened. And so and that goes back to that first, that ego is a confusion identification, because we think judgments come and they're not ours until we accept them, until we believe them. That is what makes them ours. And so and I used to think, I could get rid of ego. No, we're all one. Everybody has it. It's like, I think what quote I read, the first half of your life is to develop a healthy ego, to learn to ride bikes, and put your shoes on, go to the bathroom, all that stuff. And the second half of your life is to go within and let go of it. And let go of what's not valuable, I guess, because it's valuable to go to the bathroom and to know when to start the car and put gas in the car and stuff, and to pay your bills and stuff. But so I'm just interested in continuing extension and it's, I don't really quite know if it's about using current events to story. It's about creating stories. I think there's a movie, I don't know if I can find it, but it says fear is just a story that we're telling ourselves, because we're looking at the experiences and we tell ourselves a story. This is fear, and then here's the truth. Whatever, with the person who is wrong or in error or disbelief or doubting or fear, they are right. They are creating that. And the person who's in faith, living in faith, are creating that. And so if we're extensions of God and we're created as creators, our belief is how we create. How we speak, the energy we hold. And can be very challenging when things happen in our experiences in our everyday we have to deal with. And it's I call it the false self telling us, fear is real, believe, all this stuff that makes up these stories. And I used to believe them, and I still see them, and sometimes it's as I become more aware that it's energy. Everything is energy. And it looks like we're a physical body, but it's all energy, We're all molecules, right? This is molecules. Everything is molecules. So what are we doing with those? Everything is a cell in the body of God. Everything. And so, plants and animals, for the most part, I guess bad air, treating stuff back, or bringing that it changes people, but pretty much dogs don't meow. You can try to teach them to meow, but they're never gonna meow. They're always gonna bark. The animals, and they're just simple creatures. They're just made the way they are. And so that's us. We're simple creatures, and life has become more complex. And everything, a lot is based on money now. That's really a large factor. But what if we obsessed about love? What if we full focus was on And it's not to everybody else. You don't have to give everybody else what they want, you know, but to give it to ourselves. And that is the peace of God. That, I think it said forgiveness is your function or something, but I believe, I mean, forgiveness is really love, an aspect of love. And I believe love is our function. And maybe we have to do things in the world. We have to get, like Jesus, when he upset, he's got the attention of the Pharisees and the people to get to approval at some point. That, and that's it's okay if that at times you I'm not totally okay, you know, you're not gonna pay me, you're not gonna fix it, okay. You know, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. That is love. And as you do it for yourself, it extends to others, like Carol and your immediate family, right? I mean, you talk about how incredible things have happened in the last year or two. Just why? Because, and it's really challenging to have faith and love. Whenever everything seems, when other people do not, when they don't even think about it, they're about money or whatever, protecting their business. I guess in their own way it's love, but it's really about self-love. Sometimes just breathing is enough. And I'm so grateful because I've been really, really, really extremely challenging. It's not bad. What is it showing me? How connected I was with the false and the false self, and identification of thinking that I was judging, I was this, I was that. And I remember I was kind of told that if you do one lesson completely, you've got them all. So what I was told is if you love one person, whatever they do, you love everyone. And now I did my best, and it was very challenging. And I was way in a different belief system then, but I said, oh God, I guess I didn't do very good in that situation. I really failed. And I was told, you know what? You did well enough. And that is love. Whenever we make errors or things that happen in our life that seem, because we're not the only one that makes errors. Everybody makes errors. We don't know why everything is happening, but I know this. I'm doing my best to stay focused on love, on truth. And it's not a place I want to go. It's a place I desire to live. And that's what I do, the best of my ability every day.
Yeah. Thank you, Carla. Go ahead, Carol.
Well, I wanted to read the very end, which I think is like a recap, and it makes it easier to understand because that seems to be the way this book functions. You know, at the very end, it's like a recap of what came before. And so there's really less detail and more summary, which to me is easier to understand. So I wanted to read, I would love to read 7 and 8, but that's long. So I'll just read 8. The whole purpose of this course is to teach you that the ego is unbelievable and will forever be unbelievable. We never, ever, ever should believe it. That's the nugget there. You who made the ego by believing the unbelievable cannot make this judgment alone. But you made the wrong judgment by believing you were alone. And that's something I try and teach people when I talk to them here in this community, which is a very wonderful community of about 500 people. And when we talk spiritual stuff, I try to say to them, you always have angels, you always have guides, you always have support. And when you make a passage to the other realm, like Rudy is there now, he's not alone there. There's no lack of support ever, ever, ever. So to know that to me is the most comforting thing in my daily life. So, but you made the wrong judgment by believing you were alone. And that's what the outside stuff does. That's what living in this world promotes. That kind of thinking that you're by yourself, you're unique, there's nobody else going through what you're going through, which is just not true. By accepting the atonement for yourself, you are deciding against the belief that you can be alone, thus dispelling the idea of separation and affirming your true identification with the whole kingdom as literally part of you. This identification is as beyond doubt as it is beyond belief. Your wholeness has no limits because its being is in infinity. Only you can limit your creative power, but God wills to release it. He no more wills you to deprive yourself of your creations than he wills to deprive himself of his, which is us. Do not withhold your gifts to the sonship, or you will withhold yourself from God. And it comes down to very simple. Just don't believe it. Make it something that you say to yourself, that is not true. And I know it's not true. And therefore, I don't even want it anymore. It comes down to very simple change of your mind. It's just a change of your mind. And that's that way with every lesson that I know I've participated in our Tuesdays. It comes down to the simple fact that I don't have to accept it. I don't have to believe it. I don't have to do anything other than switch my mind to accepting, believing, trusting, and knowing my identity again and again and again, going back to that truth. And therefore, it's not complicated. It doesn't take 10 steps. I don't have to go through a whole lot of, you know what I mean? I don't have to go through a whole lot of jumping through hoops and doing all that. It's just knowing the truth and bringing that back to me and being in a group that helps me remember and supports that. That's where that's what it's all about. And it comes down to this little nutshell of truth that I don't have to believe it. Once I recognize this is not of God, this is outside stuff, this is the world, this is somebody else trying to get me to believe something that really I know is not right, not true, not real, period. And boom, I change my mind, I change my focus, I change my attitude, and I can relax. And I can just take a breath and say, thank you that I know who I am. Thank you that I know what I'm all about. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm supported. I'm loved. There's no lack and limitation in my life or yours, Linda. We know that. And to claim that no matter what's going on in the physical helps us to stay right where we belong in our oneness, in our identification as children of God in our reality. That's our reality. And I love that at the very end of these lessons, the recap is we don't have to accept it. It's not true. And then just dump it. And thank you that we can do that. And that's all I want to say. It's so relieving to me that this is what God brings it to every single time, every lesson. It's
Yeah.
quite simple. It really is. It's lovely, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and it's the truth. So let's all enjoy it together.
Absolutely.
Yep, 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 yep.
Yeah. I know that this experience is like bringing to the forefront evidence that I am supported always. I mean, just one example of all of the miraculous things that have happened, even with all the crap in the background, is I discovered on Thursday last week that the Social Security Administration pulled back Rudy's Social Security check out of my checking account. And I was in the rears like $2,000. And luckily, we still have a little bit on that home equity line of credit that I could transfer money. So like checks didn't start bouncing and stuff because I have bills to pay. And you know, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do now? Because that's the money I was going to live off of for the month of July, right? So that I could pay my bills and purchase groceries and buy my own medications and stuff. And right around the same time that I was talking to the bank, the girl that has been coming to cut Rudy's hair, she also would go to my mother's and cut her hair. Well, I had called her earlier in the week and let her know that Rudy passed away. And we've been friends for a long time. And she's like, I'm coming to your house on Thursday and I'm going to cut your hair for free. So she comes, I'm in the midst of this little meltdown that I'm having, realizing that I have, not only do I have no money, I have less than no money in my account to pay my bills. But like I said, I have the money in the home equity line of credit. Not that I need to build up any more balances there, but anyway. So she comes in, not only did she not charge me for my haircut, but she told me that she goes to bingo on a regular basis. She won $2,000 at bingo on Monday or Tuesday. And so she just handed me $200 and said, here, buy your groceries tomorrow. It's like, that's just one miracle in all of this shit show that seems to be going on around me. So I am just amazed at the amount of miraculous that is opening up and expanding my heart and awareness and my sight to, you know, that thing that Michael Beckwith says, when you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, then you will see what you don't see and you won't see what you do see.
Right.
It is friggin' true. That if you believe that, you know, none shall pass, it doesn't matter if I have $100,000 in medical debt. It doesn't matter if I have debt from credit cards. It doesn't matter that my house has debt from the home equity line of credit. It doesn't matter that the Social Security backed out. I have an appointment with them. Everything will be taken care of. And I keep telling my family this, like, my son and my sister, who are like, they really want to make sure that I'm good financially. I'm like, do not worry about this. I am not worried about this. I appreciate that you all have offered to help support me financially if I need it. I am not concerned. I know that this is all going to be taken care of miraculously, even as I make people's jaws drop when I tell them what's going on, because they believe in the world and I am withdrawing my belief. I believe in miracles. I believe in the power of love. I believe that we are eternal beings, that we are pure and innocent, and there is nothing to forgive because I am not judging any of it anymore.
Yeah, good girl.
And when
Oh, sweetheart, there
yeah,
you go. It's beautiful.
yeah, if I fall off the
Wonderful.
wagon, I fall off the wagon, whatever. And thank you, Hamira, for that beautiful note you posted.
Linda, I love you so very much, and you are such an inspiration. My God, I cannot believe how you speak with such authority, and it really is a sign to me that you practice what you preach. You don't just talk, you really put it into application. You are such an example for me. I'm so grateful that you're in my life, and I just pray that God keeps sending you the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to get through this. This just is showing us, really, I think, like, the world is showing us how broken it is. It
Yes.
was, and that's, the health system, everything about
Yeah.
it is not to support and to unify, it's to separate.
Yeah.
And it is the exact opposite of where we come from. Every single human being, irrespective of where they stand in their politics and the world and all of that. And so that's why it's so broken, and that's why it looks so crazy. And if we look to that for our peace, we will
Yeah.
never ever
Never,
find it.
ever have it. Nope.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right.
So thank you. And
Mm.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I know
Yeah.
Rudy was your beloved husband that you
Yeah.
cared for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just remember you talking about him so much. And I know he's got transitioned from body, but he's with you energetically and
Absolutely.
supporting you. And so if you need anything, please just reach out. I love you
Sure
so
will.
much.
Oh, I love you too, Hamira. Yeah, I'm feeling so incredibly blessed. Like, my neighbors across the street, two of them have lost their spouses. One about a month before Rudy died, and one like a week after Rudy died. And I saw them out in the yard, and I wrote down my name, address, and phone number on a piece of paper and handed it to them both. And I said, I know we are all going through this together. I want you to know that you can reach out to me for anything. So, I make jokes because I look out my front window and I see dead people. Like in that movie. What was The Sixth Sense? Yeah, I see dead people. So, you have to have a sense of humor. It's the whole thing about A Course in Miracles. We forgot to laugh. And I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm jumping up and down and throwing a tantrum. I'm doing all the things because they're all valid. And the truth is, I am blessed beyond measure. And I am extending as much love as I possibly can. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. And I remember I learned that from Jennifer's classes. When I started taking her classes and my first taste of the course, that was a saying that I just couldn't help. I didn't matter what was going on, and life was going on. And at that point, man, I had difficulties and challenges with my big guy, my big son. You remember all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and yet I learned that in the end, it's all good. Didn't matter
Yeah.
what was going on. Everything about life in the spirit is good. No exceptions, no
Right.
exceptions. And I still believe that, and I still live by that. And it's the truth. And here you are, days from your husband's passing, and here you look how good you are.
Yeah.
Because that's how where our faith takes us and helps us and evolves us. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And the world would think, wow, they could not understand it
Yeah.
at all. But yet there it is. It's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I think people that don't know me well might just think I'm putting my head in the sand, that I'm not dealing with
Yeah.
reality.
In reality, I know.
But I am. I'm calling all the people that I need to call. I'm taking all the steps that I need to take. I'm doing all the appointments I need to do. I'm also taking care of my house the best I can. And if I fall off of any of that stuff, it's okay. There is no.
And Linda, feel your feelings too when they
Oh my
come up.
God,
Like
girl,
that's
I
important.
totally am. I
Mhm.
totally am. I mean, I just did my most recent video on my Cosmic Heart channel, YouTube channel, was about my meditation practice and how I have started, because there's like so many of the things that I want to get done. And there's so like the squirrels in my brain sometimes are just too crazy. And so my meditation practice sometimes gets a little like, I just want to get out of my seat. Like I feel like I'm crawling out of my skin. So what I've been doing is I will lay on the floor and put my feet up the wall, or I'll lay on the floor and put my feet up on the cushions of the chair. And because I'm active-ish, but because I'm in my mid-60s, it takes a little effort to get down there, and it takes a little effort to get back up. So it's just enough effort to get back up that even though I have that inclination that I want to get up and run and do stuff, instead of sitting in my meditation and feeling what I'm feeling and, experiencing what I'm experiencing, I won't do it because it takes that little bit of effort to get up. So, and I'm doing my yoga class twice a week. I'm doing my somatic movement twice a week. I'm still attending my Ascension Pathway class. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing my 2 Cosmic Heart videos a week. I'm still doing I'm still doing my counseling sessions with my clients. Because I'm still doing my prayer partner calls. Like, these are the things that help keep me centered. And if I just withdraw from all of that, I am not going to be a healthy human. So, even from that very first day, I knew what my marching orders are. I was so grateful that I have cultivated this experience and connection with Holy Spirit because of, and honestly, it's because of Rudy that I have this connection. Because if it wouldn't have been for him getting sick in the first place, I would never have looked for Jennifer, because I wouldn't have been in that place of overwhelm. And it was because of that I found my friend and somatic movement teacher, that I found my friend who's my drumming and sound healing therapy teacher. They're all people that have been put in my life, that these things are keeping me grounded and sane at the moment. Corinne Zupko, her meditations and her classes and her reaching out to me saying, you can contact me anytime. Some of the people that teach workshops at the Rhythm Revival that I go to in the fall, reaching out to me saying, you can reach out to me anytime. And I'm grateful that they're offering, and I don't feel like I need them because I have been consistent in my practice. Yeah. So if this teaches anybody anything, just know that this stuff works. It's life-saving, like life in a form that you actually want to live it, no matter what is happening. And it's the reason why when my family was here, the day Rudy passed, I said, you people need to go home because I need to learn how to live in this house by myself and sleep at night.
Wow.
I mean, I appreciate so deeply. Like they have been coming every week, sometimes more than once. And I will say to them, like around 7 o'clock after we have dinner, you people need to go home because you have cats to feed and play with, and you have stuff that you have to do at your house too. I'm glad we're here. I'm so glad for your help. Like, oh my gosh, the stuff that we've gotten done. And my friends that have been coming and taking care of the yard. Like the amount of blessings and miracles that have happened from this. I know I've heard you say the same thing, Carol, about after your husband passed. It blows my mind.
And it's still going on. It doesn't
Yeah.
stop. It's 2 years. It's actually 2 years, June 5th, 4th, it was 2 years.
Wow.
And it sometimes still feels like yesterday, but the blessings just keep coming. My family's healing is amazing. And honestly, when I think about who my husband was, just that, because he was a hoarder. We didn't know it till he retired, and he would just little by little accumulate stuff and not let go of anything.
Yeah.
Well, we realized that for his personality, he didn't even leave our house. He passed the day before our house closed. The sale of
Wow.
our house, we had it for 50 something years.
Yeah.
He was not one to let go. So for him to make a decision to go to the other side and leave this body,
Yeah.
to appreciate who he was in his life and the decision he made for all of our benefit,
Yeah.
was unbelievably hard for him.
Yeah.
But he did it because once he got a glimpse of the other side, he knew he couldn't make any other decision.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that so much, knowing the person that he was before. He wasn't
Right.
able to let go of anything, not even
Yeah.
3 sweatshirts that he bought by himself, then forgot that he had them and went and bought 3 more and didn't even wear them, but wouldn't even give them away. I mean, this guy decided to leave our life together. His
Yeah.
grandson, who he adored, my Miles,
Yeah.
and he left it all because he knew that it was the best for everyone, the most loving thing he could do. So my appreciation of how he'd made that decision,
Yeah.
because he could see when we have that realization of people. Dana went all through these videos of people, that were going to pass, and that their experiences before they passed. I knew that he knew beyond
Yeah.
a shadow of a doubt the thing he could do, and he was just waiting for us to accept it. That's why
Yeah.
he stayed in the hospital as long as he did. We needed to accept that the best thing was for him not to come back.
Yeah.
But that decision, oh my Lord, oh, knowing him, oh my God, he attached to everything,
Yeah.
had difficulty letting go of anything.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, and it's ongoing, Linda. The blessings will flow in a way you will not be able to believe for the immediate future. Because I'm
Yeah.
2 years in, and it's just on and on and on. My family is so blessed and so healing and
Yeah.
so, oh my God, it's just wonderful. I don't want to take up any more time. Love you
No,
all.
that's,
Love you
yeah.
all.
I love you too.
Yep. Take
Thanks,
care.
Carol. All right. Well, next week, we will continue in chapter 7, moving on to section 8, your boundless self-fullness. It's a brief section, but I'm sure it's packed with all kinds of goodies. So we're just doing that. And I will read our lesson insights from
Linda,
today's.
what section is that again? Is that chapter 7, section 8?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, it's your boundless self-fullness. So let's see. Insights for lesson number 182. I will be still an instant and go home. That's what our guys did. As I began to work with this lesson, I was amazed at my resistance manifested as mind chatter that captured my attention. In the moment, I gave more value to a passing thought about a project to do today, about something somebody said yesterday, about something I read, and on. Paying attention to these things is clearly valuing the valueless. I have the opportunity right now to return home to the peace and love of God. There is nothing to keep me from it except my own decision to value something else more. All my life, I have been searching for this peace. I have had glimpses of it, fleeting moments of joyous, all-encompassing love. Yet things of the world soon capture my attention again, and the feeling fades. In this lesson, the Course is not asking us to be able to maintain a state of full awareness of heaven yet. It is simply giving us the means to experience it for an instant and bring back the experience so that we may look upon the world differently, value its images a little less. As we give ourselves the experience of home more and more, the world will be less and less attractive. The love we experience at home in heaven, we bring back with us and share with our brothers. Each experience strengthens our willingness to keep on practicing, to keep on opening our minds to that innocent child within. As I let go and let myself sink into deep peace, the mind chatter fades. As the love in my heart swells, the love brings with it the desire to share it. I look upon the world with kind benevolence. The habit of judging fades, and I see loving friends everywhere. There is no sense of urgency, no impatience, for there are no expectations. My brother is perfect love in truth. There is no need to change him. I do not need to make him conform to an image that I have made for him to be. I know he is perfectly safe along with me. In that safety, I trust and wait in the certainty of changeless love. Knowing we go home together, for there is no such thing as apart. In this feeling, I recognize I have gone home for an instant. I carry the memory in my heart of every moment it reminds me of the truth. It all comes with allowing myself to be still an instant. This world is alien to our true nature. It is not our home. It is the effect of the desire for separation from the oneness of God. Our true Father is not our earthly father. Our true Father is the love that abides within us still. We are invited here today to return to our true home, to return to love, which is our natural state. We are invited to let love be our highest priority. We are invited to let love, which is our natural state, be given the opportunity to breathe the fresh air found in its natural home. We are invited to give love a chance. We are reminded the love we are is there right now in our minds to be found and experienced if we so choose. We are invited to rest in the love we are a while. We are invited to let the love we are be recognized as our true home, as everyone's true home. We are aliens in this world of separation. This is an alien world. It does not belong to us. It is not true to our true nature. It is not our birthplace, and it is not our death place. This alien world was spawned from the desire to be as we could never really be in truth. This alien world can be let go of just as easily as it was desired. It is not what we truly want in our heart of hearts. In our heart of hearts, we want to return home. We want to return to love, our Father. We want to return to the only reality we have in truth. Letting go of limitation and death takes a willingness to let it go. This is my practice today. I will be still an instant and go home and rest a while in the rich environment of oneness, of peace, of joy. For me, this is the most beautiful lesson in the Course. For so long as I craved to find serenity in my homes, in my relationships, in my jobs, but somehow I always felt I was missing something. These things would eventually tire me, and I find myself being restless again and would begin that fruitless search. I began to think something was wrong with me. When I read this lesson the first time, it brought me to tears of relief, because I knew this was my answer. This was what I had been searching for all along. The lesson says that the child in me needs my protection because he is far from home. The lesson also says that I will fail him not. And these are the words I need to know, that I will not fail him. I will succeed. Yes, go home, child. Go home for a little while and bring back with you the air that you breathe with my Father, the silence and the peace and the love you find there. Bring this back with you so that the memory of these things can strengthen my journey. And while you're there, tell my Father that I'm on my way home. Having no awareness of searching, I never felt the restlessness. However, the feeling of discomfort in my own skin or on the outside looking in has plagued me for as long as I can remember. I never connected these feelings to the voice in my head that would cry and shout and whisper, I just want to go home. That voice has been with me always. The first time I read it, I cried too. To know I was not alone in hearing that voice was an enormous relief. This year's insights have given meditation to me. Meditation has given me the place within to go home to when the voice says, I need replenishing. And today I get the connection of thoughts. This is great stuff. Isn't that the truth? Thank you, everybody. Love you all so much.
We love you,
Love
Linda.
you. Have a beautiful week.
Yeah, you too.
Bye,
Bye for
everyone.
now.
Thank you. Bye.